The 2000-year-old computer that shouldn't exist, dramatic underwater footage, ancient shipwreck. What if I told you that in 1901, Greek sponge divers discovered something on the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea that would completely shatter our understanding of ancient technology? Something so advanced that when scientists first examined it, they refused to believe it was real. Close-up of corroded bronze mechanism. This is the Antikythera Mechanism, a 2000-year-old device that can predict eclipses, track planetary movements, and calculate the positions of the Sun, Moon, and planets with accuracy that wouldn't be matched again until the 14th century. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the world's first analog computer, and it's rewriting everything we thought we knew about ancient Greek technology. Welcome back to History in the Shadow, where we uncover the most mind-blowing historical mysteries that mainstream education completely ignores. I'm Khalid, and if you are fascinated by ancient technologies that seem impossible for their time, you are in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because today's story involves ancient Greek engineers who somehow created technology that was literally 1,500 years ahead of its time. And the most terrifying part, we still don't fully understand how they did it. The Discovery sepia-toned footage of early 1900s Greece. Our story begins on a calm morning in October 1900, when a group of Greek sponge divers were sailing near the small island of Antikythera, located between mainland Greece and Crete. These weren't amateur fishermen, they were professional deep-sea divers who made their living harvesting sponges from the Mediterranean seafloor. Underwater diving scenes, period equipment. Captain Dimitrios Kondos and his crew were forced to take shelter near Antikythera due to rough weather. While waiting for conditions to improve, they decided to search the nearby waters for sponges. What happened next would change our understanding of ancient history forever. Diver Elias Stadiatis descended to a depth of 180 feet and immediately surfaced in a state of panic. He told Captain Kondos that he had seen a heap of dead, naked people lying on the seafloor. The captain thought his diver had suffered nitrogen narcosis, a condition that causes hallucinations at depth. Ancient statue imagery, shipwreck animation. But when Kondos dove down himself, he discovered something incredible. The dead people were actually ancient bronze and marble statues scattered across the seafloor. They had found the wreck of an ancient Roman cargo ship, loaded with Greek treasures and artifacts. Salvage operation footage. The Greek government immediately organized a salvage operation. For nearly a year, divers worked in dangerous conditions to recover treasures from what became known as the Antikythera wreck. They brought up bronze statues, marble sculptures, jewelry, coins, and pottery dating back over 2,000 years. First glimpse of the mechanism, but among all these priceless artifacts, one item seemed completely out of place. It was a heavily corroded lump of bronze and wood, about the size of a shoebox, with what appeared to be gaze visible through the corrosion. The archaeologists had no idea what it was, so they simply catalogued it as item 15087 and put it in storage. The first examination museum setting, early 20th century scientists. For months, the mysterious bronze object sat ignored in the National Archaeological Museum in Athens. It wasn't until May 1902 that archaeologist Valerios Stais took a closer look at the corroded artifact and made a discovery that would shock the scientific world. Magnifying glass examination, detailed bronze gears. As Stais carefully cleaned away some of the corrosion, he could clearly see bronze gears, wheels, and what appeared to be inscribed text in ancient Greek. But this was impossible, according to everything historians knew about ancient technology. Complex gear mechanisms like this weren't invented until medieval times, over 1,000 years later. Skeptical scientific community imagery. When Stays announced his findings, the international scientific community reacted with disbelief and ridicule. Respected historians argued that ancient Greeks couldn't possibly have created such sophisticated mechanical devices. Some suggested it was a medieval artifact that had somehow been mixed in with the ancient treasures. Period newspaper headlines, academic debates, the controversy raged for decades. Conservative archaeologists insisted that the mechanism had to be from a much later period, despite clear evidence that it came from the same ancient shipwreck as artifacts definitively dated to the 1st century BC. The device was so far ahead of its supposed time that many scholars simply refused to accept the evidence. Early X-ray images of the mechanism. It wasn't until the 1950s that technology advanced enough to properly study the mechanism without damaging it further. When scientists took the first X-ray images of the device, they discovered something that left them speechless. The internal structure was far more complex than anyone had imagined. The shocking truth revealed modern laboratory setting, advanced scanning equipment. The real breakthrough came in 2005 when an international team of researchers used advanced CT scanning and 3D imaging technology to peer inside the Antikythera mechanism without dismantling it. What they found challenged every assumption about ancient Greek technological capabilities. 3D computer models of the internal mechanism. The device contained at least 82 known fragments with evidence of at least 37 meshing bronze gears. But this wasn't just a simple clockwork mechanism, it was a sophisticated analog computer designed to calculate and predict astronomical events with incredible precision. Animation showing the mechanism in operation. Here's how it worked. By turning a hand crank on the side of the device, users could advance or reverse time and watch as bronze pointers moved across multiple dials, showing the positions of the Sun, Moon, and all 5 planets known to ancient Greeks. The main dial could predict the location of these celestial bodies for any date over a 19-year cycle. Eclipse prediction demonstrations. But the most incredible feature was the mechanism's ability to predict solar and lunar eclipses. One dial could forecast eclipses up to 76 years in advance, including their precise times, durations, and the degree of eclipse. This level of astronomical calculation wouldn't be achieved again until the invention of mechanical clocks in the 14th century. Calendar system explanations. The device also tracked multiple calendar systems simultaneously. It could convert between the Egyptian calendar, various Greek regional calendars, and the Metonic cycle used for predicting lunar phases. This required mathematical calculations that we didn't think ancient Greeks could perform. Olympic Games predictions, perhaps most fascinating. One of the dials tracked the timing of the Olympic Games and other Panhellenic festivals. The mechanism could tell users not just when celestial events would occur, but also when major sporting and religious festivals would take place throughout the Greek world. The implications and theories. Ancient Greek workshop reconstructions. The discovery of the Antikythera mechanism has forced historians to completely reconsider what ancient civilizations were capable of achieving. If Greeks in the 1st century BC could build analog computers, what other advanced technologies did they possess that we haven't discovered yet? Theoretical ancient inventor imagery. Researchers believe the mechanism was designed by followers of the ancient Greek inventor and mathematician Hipparchus, who lived on the island of Rhodes. Historical records suggest that Hipparchus created detailed astronomical models and may have built mechanical devices to demonstrate celestial movements, but no physical evidence existed until now. Lost technology theories. This raises a terrifying question: how much ancient knowledge has been lost forever? The Antikythera Mechanism suggests that ancient Greek technology was far more advanced than we ever imagined. If this level of sophistication existed 2000 years ago, what other incredible inventions have been lost to time? Roman conquest and knowledge destruction. Some historians theorize that the Roman conquest of Greece led to the destruction of advanced technological knowledge. While Romans were excellent engineers and administrators, they may not have understood or valued the theoretical mathematics and precise mechanical engineering that created devices like the Antikythera mechanism. Alternative history scenarios. Imagine if this technology hadn't been lost. If ancient Greeks had continued developing mechanical computers and precision astronomy instruments, human technological development might have advanced by centuries. We might have had mechanical calculators in medieval times and reached the Industrial Revolution 1,000 years earlier. Modern recreation attempts. Modern engineers have attempted to recreate the Antikythera mechanism using only tools and techniques available to ancient Greeks. The results are sobering. Even with our complete understanding of the device's function, it requires exceptional skill and mathematical knowledge to construct. The original creators weren't just skilled craftsmen, they were genius-level engineers and mathematicians. The ongoing mystery. Current research facilities. Ongoing studies. Despite decades of study, the Antikythera mechanism still holds secrets that modern science hasn't unlocked. Researchers estimate that only about 1/3 of the original device has been recovered from the shipwreck site. The missing pieces might reveal even more sophisticated functions. Unread inscriptions and hidden text. The mechanism contains thousands of characters of inscribed Greek text that functions as an instruction manual. Much of this text remains unreadable due to corrosion, but what researchers have deciphered reveals detailed astronomical knowledge that we didn't know ancient Greeks possessed. Recent underwater expeditions. In recent years, new underwater expeditions to the Antikythera wreck site have recovered additional artifacts, including bronze pieces that might belong to the mechanism or similar devices. Some researchers believe the ship was carrying multiple astronomical instruments, suggesting this technology might have been more widespread than previously thought. Dating controversies. Even the mechanism's exact age remains controversial. While most evidence points to construction around 100 to 50 BC, some features suggest it might be even older. If the device dates to the 2nd century BC or earlier, it would push back the timeline of advanced mechanical engineering by decades. Similar devices speculation. Perhaps most intriguingly, historical records mention other mechanical devices created by ancient Greek inventors. Cicero wrote about a sphere built by Archimedes that showed the motions of the sun, moon, and planets. Could there have been an entire tradition of mechanical astronomy that we've completely lost track of? Modern technology comparison. To put the mechanism's sophistication in perspective, imagine future archaeologists discovering a smartphone in the ruins of our civilization. That's essentially what happened when modern scientists examined the Antikythera mechanism. They found technology that seemed impossible for its time period. The broader impact. Educational implications. Imagery. The Antikythera mechanism has revolutionized how we teach ancient history. Textbooks that once portrayed ancient Greeks as primitive people who believed in mythological explanations for natural phenomena have been completely rewritten. We now know they possessed scientific instruments capable of precise astronomical calculations. Scientific method validation. The device also validates ancient Greek mathematical and scientific achievements that previously seemed too advanced to be real. Hipparchus's astronomical calculations, Apollonius's geometric models, and other theoretical work now appear to have been supported by sophisticated mechanical instruments. Technology transfer theories. Some researchers propose that knowledge of advanced mechanical engineering might have survived in isolated communities or been transmitted to other civilizations. This could explain why Islamic mathematicians and engineers during the medieval period seemed to have access to sophisticated mechanical principles. Archaeological implications. The discovery has also changed archaeological priorities. Researchers now actively search for evidence of other advanced ancient technologies. Metal detection surveys, underwater archaeology, and detailed examination of corroded artifacts have all been intensified based on lessons learned from the Antikythera mechanism. Conclusion. Engagement montage of the mechanism and its implications. The Antikythera mechanism stands as proof that human ingenuity and intelligence haven't changed over the millennia. 2000 years ago, brilliant minds were solving complex problems with the same creativity and precision we admire in modern engineers and scientists. Final mystery emphasis. But here's what keeps me awake at night thinking about this discovery. If ancient Greeks could build mechanical computers in the 1st century BC, what other impossible technologies are waiting to be discovered in shipwrecks, buried cities, or museum storage rooms around the world? And this brings me to the question I'm dying to hear your thoughts on. Do you think the Antikythera mechanism proves that ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we give them credit for? Or was this just an isolated example of extraordinary genius that was way ahead of its time? Comment below and tell me. A. Ancient civilizations had advanced technology we've completely underestimated. B. This was just one genius inventor who was centuries ahead of his time. C. There's still hidden evidence of ancient technology waiting to be found. D. Modern people are actually less intelligent than our ancestors. Engagement escalation. And here's an even more mind-bending question. If you could time travel back to ancient Greece and bring one piece of modern technology to show the creators of the Antikythera mechanism, what would you choose? A smartphone? A car engine? A computer chip? Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what you think would amaze them most. Subscribe. Call to action. If this incredible story of ancient technology blew your mind as much as it blew mine, absolutely smash that like button and subscribe for more mind-bending historical mysteries that prove the past was far stranger than we ever imagined. Next video tease. Hit that notification bell because next week, I'm revealing the story of a medieval manuscript that contains detailed diagrams of machines that wouldn't be invented for another 500 years, including what appears to be a helicopter and a tank. And seriously, drop a comment if you've ever seen an artifact in a museum that seemed too advanced for its time period. Your observations might just lead to the next great historical discovery. Thanks for joining me on this journey into one of history's greatest technological mysteries. Remember, the most incredible discoveries are often hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to ask the right questions.